Hello and welcome to the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series live tonight from Bristol Motor Speedway here in Bristol, Tennessee. This is race number 5 of the series and marks the halfway point in the regular season here in the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series. So only 5 more races after this one, and we will settle the playoff grid at that point. Right now the driver's in the practice session. Just a little under 2 minutes left to go here. Let's take a look at our points as they come into tonight's race. At the top, it is Eric Hutton, riding a few solid finishes early on in this season. No wins just yet, but he is at the top of the standings. But right behind him, Seth Hatchell, who led the points for the first few races. He is in second place, just 1 point back. We also see Jeff Pogos, Safe Ferris, and AJ Stravato in the top 5. Stravato, of course, with 3 wins already this season. That number 48 car has been extremely dominant in terms of closing out races and pulling out clutch wins. And he has 3 of them in a row now. The only other driver to capture a victory is Mr. Joshua Abbey. You see him there in 11th position in points, but he is locked into the playoff grid by nature of that win. So he has nothing really to worry about. And you can see the 4 drivers right now on the outside, but still in the top 20 in points, are Michael Newman, Ryan Gemmel, Chris Wheeler, and Joey Mines. And those guys all within range of advancing. They need to have a few good races here and climb up into the top 16 or capture a win. And I believe anybody inside the top 35 in points. I'm going to pull up the rules here actually. Taking a look here to see what it is. I don't think there is a lower end of the points that you can be in order to advance with a win, but only 2 drivers have captured a win, and they're up there inside the top 16. So we'll see if anybody can get a different, or if we can have a different winner here in tonight's race. Be interesting to see if that's going to happen. If somebody can dethrone AJ Stravato, who's won 3 in a row here, as the drivers go to the qualifying session. Let's take a look on board here with Nick Starling as he gets out on the racetrack. We'll also take a look at our track information here. The Bristol Motor Speedway, often referred to the Great Colosseum, the last Great Colosseum. 4 corners, it's concrete, high-banked oval, just over a half mile. Tonight's race is going to be 283 laps, a pretty good distance, but really only adds up to 150.8 miles. As you see Nick bouncing off the wall there, that lap is not going to count. And this should be a pretty interesting race. It's very difficult to pass, and the high line often the preferred line as you get up to speed. And the lower line can come into play, but it takes a little bit of work to get it to be effective. As Nick wraps up his session, Seth Hatchell showing his fastest on track with a 14.604. That's about a tenth faster than Hutton, the top 2 in the point standings, the top 2 on the qualifying grid. And thank you for the host. Do you see PH Art? I don't know if it's a duck fart or something else. Thank you for the host. Appreciate you tuning in. Also want to thank Grunt1969 for the follow before we started the broadcast here. We want to thank everyone for tuning in here tonight as Ryan Gemmel, sporting the V-Speed, the very vibrant V-Speed scheme. He makes it around. I think he tagged the wall right there. He runs a 14.828. His best time of 14.777. He's currently 4th on the board. It's Jeremiah Vincent on the racetrack. He's out here on his 2nd lap, trying to improve from a 14.807. And he will not improve there. It's Safe Ferris, who comes in up there in the top 5 in points. He brushes the wall on the 2nd lap and will not improve. currently 9th fastest. Jeff Pogo on the racetrack. Currently 20th fastest, not too quick here in the qualifying session. And Lyle Sulfridge, 22nd fastest as he comes across the line. Joshua Abbey, a week 1 winner at Daytona, out here on his qualifying attempt. Go to the nose cam with Joshua here. He runs a 15.06 on his first lap. That'll be good for 18th fastest. We'll see if he can improve, and he will brush the wall. That will not count. Michael Newman on the racetrack. He's trying to improve his position. Ran a 15.032, basically identical to his first lap, so he will not improve. Jordan Scheffler on the racetrack in the steel number 13. The drivers do have to get their lap time in the first 5 minutes of the qualifying session. The second 5 minutes is for the driver meeting. As Jordan out here trying to put in his hot lap. He comes out of turn number 4, across the line, 15.08. And that will be good enough for 20th on the board. We'll see if he can improve it here. About a half second off of your provisional pole sitter, Seth Hatchell. And out of turn number 4, he will improve to a 14.9. That will be good enough for 12th fastest, so much improved. And I don't see anybody else on the racetrack attempting a lap time just yet. With just 30 seconds left, they're going to have to go right about now to have any chance of getting a lap time in. It doesn't look like that is going to happen. So AJ Stravato, your winner from the last 3 weeks, he's going to be rolling off, it looks like 8th position here tonight. And we'll see what he can do from that spot. But as the qualifying period is wrapping up, we're going to cut to an early commercial break so you can hear more about the NASCAR Brawl podcast and the Brawl Network and other sponsors of the channel here. We'll be right back.
Introducing the Brawl Network. The Brawl Network brings your favorite team's news and opinions in an unfiltered, educated, and entertaining way. Enough of the mainstream media's bias, filtered, reiterative news. Our reporters are fans of the teams they cover as opposed to most major reporters. While some may feel it is good to get unbiased takes, it results in negative bias, passionless articles, and boring podcasts and radio. The Brawl Network changes the game by reporting the same news as the mainstream media, but with passion, in-depth knowledge of the teams, and in an entertaining way. We use our connections to bring you behind-the-scenes information and perspectives daily. Brawl is a way of life here. For our listeners and contributors, we hear all opinions, voices, ideas, thoughts, and hot takes. The Brawl Network is where your voice is heard, and you can hear your voice. Also check out NASCAR Brawl, the newest Brawl podcast focusing on all the newest NASCAR and motorsports news from across the industry. We're proud to bring you the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series sponsored by this podcast and partnered with V-Speed. Watch weekly on Wednesdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Twitch at V-Speed Sim. Check out the Brawl Network at thebrawlnetwork.com and on Twitter at Network Brawl, and the NASCAR Brawl podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify with new episodes coming soon.
I'm Jonathan Proper, CEO of Drops.com, and I'm here to give you the naked truth about laundry. Size does not matter when it comes to laundry. Let's start with Jugs. It's big all right, messy too, and expensive. You know why? Lots of plastic, lots of water, shipped all over the country, from factory to warehouse to retailer. That's what you're paying for. It's a dinosaur, and we all know dinosaurs are extinct. Meet our imitators. This is your average detergent pod. It has 20 plus chemicals with names nobody can pronounce. Nice colors. I hope they don't stain. I know color doesn't clean. Would you take a bath in either of these? No way. That's why we developed Drops. Drops is dye-free, MPE-free, phosphate-free, animal cruelty-free. So free, it's freaking awesome. We make drops with only 6 safe ingredients, certified by the EPA. Drops is tough on dirt, but gentle enough for a baby's skin. It's so gentle, I'm taking a bath in it. Doing laundry with drops is hard to up. 1 drop equals 1 load. Now, can we talk about my package? 100% recyclable. Manufacturing drops ourselves and distributing directly helps us cut out the middleman and reduce transportation costs. With delivery plans as low as $4 a month, the average family can save $100 a year. Hello? What are you saying? The cleanest clothes at the lowest price? You're damn right it's a great deal. Thanks for calling. Shipping is always free. You choose the product and plan that's right for you, and we'll drop drops at your door. The naked truth is that drops makes laundry better and life easier. Every drops counts, saving money, plastic, water, and time. So go to drops.com. The first one's on us.
You join us back at the racetrack here at Bristol Motor Speedway, getting ready to go to our starting grid. Let's see where everyone is going to be rolling off here tonight in the last great Colosseum. Starting on the pole in tonight's race, it's going to be Seth Hatchell, who comes in just 1 point off the points lead. He runs a 14.604, very good lap time. So congrats to Seth on the pole there. On his outside on the front row, it'll be Josiah Vincent, the number 4 machine, with a 14.657, great lap time there as well. Rolling off in row number 2, it'll be Eric Hutton, who comes in your points leader. Nick Starling will be rolling off in the 4th position on his outside. Ryan Gemmel going to be rolling off in the 5th position. Dallas Sullivan going to be starting in 6th here tonight. Jeremiah Vincent rolls off 7th. AJ Stravato, winner of the last 3 races, he'll be rolling off in the 8th position here. Safe Ferris going to be rolling off in 9th, and rounding out the top 10, the number 64 of John Mullins. Rolling off 11th, it'll be Eric Holly. 12th will be Jordan Shepler. 13th will be Thomas Brendel. 14th will be Chris Wheeler. 15th is Alan Dice. 16th will be Dan Dill. 17th is going to be Michael Newman, the number 12 machine. Cody Atkins rolling off in 18th. Rolling off 19th, it'll be Lane Sulfridge. And rounding out the top 20, week 1 winner, Joshua Abbey. Rolling off 21st, it'll be Joey Mines. 22nd, Wes Wygans. 23rd, Jeff Pogo. 24th, Daniel Worthington. 25th, Dylan Teal. 26th, Lyle Sulfridge. 27th, Eric Gallion. 28th, Justin Carey. 29th, Eric Lambert. And rounding out the top 30, it'll be Brandon Vasquez, the number 19 machine. Zach Smith going to be rolling off 31st. 32nd will be Michael O'Malley. 33rd going to be Timothy Emanuele. 34th, Brett Sommers. 35th, Jordan Brockle. 36th, Dennis Steele. And that will do it for your field here tonight. 36 drivers. This will be very interesting, and I would expect our fill of cautions in tonight's race with 283 laps up before we throw the checkered flag. Going to be very tough and will be a race of survival, a race of strategy, I'm sure, when it comes to pitting and taking tires and fuel. Seth Hatchell going to be in control on the start. And shout out your favorite driver in chat. Let us know who you are cheering for. We know we've got some V-Speed fans out there cheering for Seth Hatchell. We've got some fans of Eric Lambert and others, but let us know who you're cheering for and give you a shout out on the broadcast and follow along with those drivers throughout tonight's race. So we wait for the green flag to fly. Seth Hatchell in control as they make their way out of turn number 4. Hatchell gets them going. They stack it up on the start. The outside lane spinning. There goes Nick Starling. Chaos already in caution, going to fly before they're even out of turn number 2. Now let's go take a look at what happened to Nick there, but he went around on the initial start, and this is going to throw a wrench in the timing and scoring, I'm sure, for the drivers that didn't make it across the start-finish line before the caution came out. We're going to go back to the restart here and see what happened to Nick on the outside lane. As he stacks it up behind the 4, he gets tapped from Dallas Sullivan, comes across the nose of Jeremiah Vincent. And I'm not sure if anyone else was involved. I think it's just those two, but chaos already. Definitely an unfortunate start for Nick Starling, who rolled off there in the 4th position. He's all the way back in 33rd before he even made it to turn 1. He's got his work cut out for him, and heavy damage along with Jeremiah Vincent. Currently brings it down onto the pit lane, and very unique feature of Bristol Motor Speedway, the fact that there are 2 pit lanes, and that can be very confusing if you're in the back half of the field trying to figure out which side of the track to pit on. Jeremiah already 1 lap down, along with Nick Starling 1 lap down. I think many others going to be showing 1 lap down here, or on the tail end of the lead lap. And it looks like that is how it's going to show, that you can see these drivers up here actually on the tail end. They're all going to have to take a wave around when we get the green flag, or the 1 to go. And right now, Hatchell all the way back here. He's got 32nd on back. Actually, trying to figure this out. It looks like Eric Lambert right here in front of him is 32nd. So it looks like Cody Adkins in 16th, the first car behind the pace car. And that is definitely a feature of iRacing. If you don't make it to that start-finish line at the start, it is a problem. With the timing and scoring, can really get thrown off. Lambert all the way back in 32nd. Currently showing last car on the lead lap. He started in 2019. He lost a few spots on the initial start. So that is about what you would expect from Bristol Motor Speedway, the kind of start that we just saw. Hopefully these guys can figure it out and not stack it up like that. Hatchell waited a long ways in the zone, and I think the other drivers behind him tried to anticipate it as they now go around and get back on to the lead lap at the tail end of the field. You can see the lead lap cars here side by side trying to get caught up to the pace car. Pace car right there. And as they work out of, or into turn 3, pace car lights come back on. We're going to have an extended caution so everyone can get caught back up. I'm a little confused as to what's going on right here with the leaders going on past. And we've got Ninja Beat our Ninja Beast, cheering on number 39. I believe that's Timothy Emanuele. Finds himself in the 27th starting spot, or right now in 27th. As you see Jeremiah Vincent there waiting on the pit lane for a chance to come back on the racetrack. And I really don't know what is going on with the timing and scoring. We'll let things get settled out here. We want to let you know that you can check out last week's race over on our YouTube channel. You can find us on YouTube at VSpeed. You can also find us on all these other social media outlets where we post race announcements before each and every broadcast. And you can also find out some of our services at vspeedsim.com. We do graphic design work, industrial design, or 3D design work. If you need 3D printed parts, we have that capability, or custom trophies, custom merchandise. We have all of those capabilities, so you can take your sim racing experience to the next level. Check us out at vspeedsim.com. We've also got some NASCAR Brawl merchandise over there you will want to check out, as well as some great VSpeed merch. So pace car lights are still on. They're still trying to get things figured out, and that is the nature of getting a caution before the field crosses the start-finish line. It looks like everybody on the lead lap except for Nick Starling and Jeremiah Vincent, who remain on the pit lane with heavy damage. Wes Weigand also brought it down the pit lane. He took 2 tires, it appears, in the number 188. He'll be last in the field here in 33rd. And I think we'll get the one to go this time, as it looks like everyone is caught back up. And there we go, everybody is caught up. Seth Hatchell, Eric Hutton going to be trying to do this one more time. See if we can get this thing going and get some green flag laps in. We've already run 11 laps, all 11 laps under caution. And a few drivers with damage before they even made it to the start-finish line. So we'll see what they can do. You can see the 6 machine of Dallas Sullivan and 64 of John Mullins with damage back there, and they're inside the top 10. Space car rolls off. We're going to get going here again. Hatchell gets going. Green flag in the air at Bristol Motor Speedway, and everybody making it away from the line. This time, no caution yet, so perhaps we'll get a full green flag lap in as Hatchell comes across the start-finish line to lead the first green flag lap. And the top 10 or so single-filed out. The first battle happening a little bit farther back. Oh, the 14 of Thomas Brendel in the wall. He's going to be under attack, under fire from the 81 of Dan Dill. And a little farther back, looks like Lane Sulfridge, or actually it's Lyle Sulfridge. Trying to find him in the field here. In the 70 machine, he's trying to make a move on Brandon Vasquez, aka Batman. Just outside the top 20, but battle for the lead is on, as here comes Eric Hutton to the inside of Seth Hatchell. They go into turn number 3. Ryan Gemmel's moved up to 3rd position. Hatchell going to run that high line. Hutton trying to work the low line, but won't have the drive off. Hatchell will hang on to it. Here comes Gemmel to the outside of the 77, but he can't get alongside out of turn 2. And here comes Josiah Vincent to look down on the inside of Gemmel. And they make a little bit of contact the front straightaway. Gemmel was about halfway down the racetrack. Josiah Vincent washes up into him there. And here comes the 44 of Safe Ferris as the top 5 have broken away. Eric Holly a few car lengths back in the number 25 machine. And then it's a half second back to Dallas Sullivan, the 7th position. He's being chased down by AJ Stravato right where he started in the 8th position. And he's going to go on by the number 6 and take over 7th. A little farther back, Jordan Shepler outside the top 10. He's being chased down by Alan Dice and Cody Adkins, the 31. Joshua Abbey making up some spots here in the early going. He's going to be 14th at the moment. And he's got a good gap over Chris Wheeler, who's under fire from Thomas Brundle. We saw him get in the wall. Michael Newman's right there, and it's a big stack up behind them. Lane Sulfridge nearly going off onto the apron there. Here comes Justin Carey to the outside, and he's going to have a 33 of Eric Gallion follow him around. And that'll be to move up into the top 20. At the front, Hatchell still under pressure from Eric Hutton. The 8 working that high line, the defensive lane. Generally the preferred lane, but the short way around, it is hard to get that lane moving here in the early laps when it's so easy to run up high and carry your momentum out of the corner. And Hatchell doing a good job working that line. He's got the gap up to about 2 car lengths. And Hutton, who was very quick at Iowa, looked like he had that race in the bag. Late cautions, and we saw Stravato take it away from him there in the late going like he did in the race before that. He's obviously very quick at these short tracks, running second right where he started. Ryan Gemmel caught up to the back bumper, and they've spaced themselves out by about 10 car lengths over Safe Ferris. And Josiah Vincent and Eric Hawley here in 5th and 6th. AJ Stravato about 15 car lengths back in the 48. Dallas Sullivan about 25 car lengths back. They've got a lap machine between them. That's Jordan Brockle, 84, already a lap down in 33rd position. And towards the back of the field here, the 3 of Eric Lambert, the 188 of Wes Wigan battling for 30th and 31st. As they ride about 13.7 seconds back of your leader. They'll be getting lapped here in just a couple laps. They don't start to pick up the pace. Currently running about a second off the pace of the leaders. And you can see Hatchell closing in. He's going to put Daniel Worthington a lap down right here. And he'll bring the 77 of Hutton right along with him as they go around the outside. It's such an intense racetrack and things happen very quickly. You can see Eric Lambert just about to go a lap down as the 8 machine of Hatchell goes around the outside. That'll get us down to 30 on the lead lap. And multiple drivers in striking distance of your leader and in danger of going a lap down. Looks like Hutton got slowed up a little bit, maybe made a little contact with the outside wall, as he's now about a half second behind your leader. And back here, we've got a nice big gaggle of race cars behind Dan Dill. You've got Alan Dice, Joshua Abbey, 31 of Cody Adkins, and the 22 of Chris Wheeler all fighting it out here inside the top 15. And the 57 of Dice going to go to the inside of Dill. They work down into the corner here through turns 3 and 4. 57 going to take that position away. Dill into the wall. That's going to check up the cars behind him. Chris Wheeler getting down on the apron. Almost lost control of that race car, but hangs on to it, and he'll retain the 15th position, losing some ground, though, to the 5 of Joshua Abbey. The top 2 have broken away. Ryan Gemmel about 8/10 back of second place Hutton. And they are going to start catching this lap traffic here, as Hatchell continues to ride the high line. The 78 machine in front of him, that is Dylan Teal in 29th position, last car on the lead lap. Hatchell going to have to be very careful to work through this lap traffic without getting into anyone. As he runs the high line, they check up there in front of the 78. That's Brett Sommers and Wes Wygand nearly making contact. Very slow though, and you can see the number 70 machine and the 71 fighting it out now for position. That is the Sulfridges battling for 25th and 26th. Hatchell goes to the outside of Dylan Teal, and the 71 of Lane Sulfridge catching the wall there. They check up. Hatchell tries to make a move to the outside of Wygand, and they're nearly 3 wide. The 188 goes to the middle. 71 gonna let him go. Wygand makes a little bit of contact there, and this is getting very sketchy, and Gemmel and others starting to reel in the leaders again. Dylan Teal continues to fight on the low line. As Lane Sulfridge in the wall, Hatchell nowhere to really go. He's got the 77 of Hutton on his outside now. And this could really hurt Hatchell if he can't get around these lap cars. He's about to lose the lead with these two battling. The top 5 now all basically closed up. The 71 of Sulfridge way off the pace as the top 2 put him a lap down. Here comes Gemmel, Josiah Vincent, the next one in line, and Eric Holly right there behind him. So Hatchell able to hang on to the lead. Looks like Gemmel might have caught the wall there in front of Sulfridge. And caution on the racetrack. Looks like the number 9 machine, that's going to be Jeremiah Vincent going around once again. Let's take a look at what happened to Jeremiah here to bring out caution number 2. Sure, a nice little green flag run. And wow, it was really stacked up. It's 3 wide here. You see the 33 machine. Jeremiah Vincent down there on the low line in the number 9. As he was looking to make a move to the inside here, the 33 comes way down the racetrack. Jeremiah nowhere to go. He slams the inside wall, and it looks like nobody else made contact with him, but so easy for that to happen as the hole that he was shooting for just seemed to close up. The 33 of Galleon just not coming up the racetrack there. Not sure why he stayed right in the middle, but that definitely brought out that yellow flag, and Vincent scored in 34th position. That is second to last of the drivers that started tonight's race, and it looks like Hatchell and majority of the leaders, or majority of the cars on track, going to be bringing it on to the pit lane. Hatchell has led every single lap so far, showing some good speed in the early going of this race after starting on the pole. And Zach Smith staying on the racetrack for the moment. He's got a little bit of right side damage. I'm not sure if he's just trying to lead a lap. You do earn a bonus point for leading a lap, so there is definitely a benefit to that. In the battle off pit lane, looks like Seth Hatchell is the winner. Eric Hutton going to be second, Josiah Vincent third, Ryan Gemmel fourth, and Eric Holly the top 5 out of the pit lane. But right now the top 3 remaining on the racetrack with over 40 laps on the tires. And we'll see how that works out for them. And let's see if we can find somebody to talk to here. See if they go double file this time. If not, we'll talk to Mr. Jeff Pogo. See if we can pull him into the booth. And it looks like lights are off. The 28 machine of Dennis Steele going to go back and take the wave round. He'll be the last car on the lead lap in 28th with 45 lap old tires. It'll be Zach Smith, Timothy Emanuele, and Wes Weigand up there not pitting and on old tires. Seth Hatchell going to be restarting in the 4th position up there on the high line. And we'll see how the top 2 get going here, and if Hatchell can get out in front and create a gap over Hutton and the other drivers on fresh tires. As Zach Smith holds him down, green flag back in the air. The 39 spins the tires. He continues to spin the tires, checks up Hatchell and others, and that's going to allow Zach Smith to get out in front. There goes Hutton to the inside of Hatchell, and he's going to try and find a way around the slow cars in front of him. Hatchell works the outside line. The 39 of Emanuele in the wall, and the 188 very slow. They're going to go 3 wide. Hatchell to the outside, Hutton to the inside. The 188 going to go to the high line now. Here goes Hatchell to the back bumper of Emanuele, and Hutton Going to go to the inside now. Hatchell looks to try and find a way around the outside, but not going to happen as the 44 of Ferris goes around, slams the inside wall. That's going to be a big wreck going into turn number 1. Huge impact. Ferris going to surely be out there still wrecking. The 12 of Newman almost over, and the 20 of Joey Mines on top of the 44. What a wreck. More chaos here on the restart. Let's go take a look at what happened to send the 44 around and start that pile up. He was right in behind the 16 of Gemmel, the 188 off the wall. Josiah Vincent goes to the middle. 44 down low. He gets tagged by the 4. Sends him around up into the field. Stravato, the 13, the 57 of Dice, the 22 of Wheeler, the 12 of Newman, Sommers, Sulfridge. So many drivers caught up in this, and Ferris going to have a blown engine. Let's see a view from Joey Mines. I want to see. Gonna go on the nose cam here, see what happened with Joey, if he even. It sounds like he got on the clutch and then the brakes. And then that car bouncing all over the place. And Michael Newman was up in the air. I swear anybody with the name Newman has some bad luck with rollovers and cars landing on them, as he was able to get it back on all 4s, pointed in the wrong direction. But definitely a disastrous restart there for many drivers. Zach Smith going to stay on the racetrack. There's still wrecking going on with Brett Sommers and Chris Wheeler. What is going on down in this corner? Oh, 22 blew up, and 7 nearly ran into him. That's what happened. So Wheeler going to be done for a while here until they complete repairs on that race car. And definitely the big one here early on in the first 50 laps. We are now on caution number 3. Eric Hutton going to take over the lead. Timothy Emanuele remaining on the racetrack. We did see Zach Smith bring it down the pit lane. And Emanuele was very slow in front of these leaders. Gemmel was able to bypass Hatchell, who led the first 42 laps. Hatchell back to the 4th position right now, and we'll see if he can charge back up there and have a shot at this. Let's see if we can get a word in here with Justin Carey. So I think we're going to have some time. Actually, nope. Pace car lights are off. We're going to have a hard time getting driver interviews in, I think, tonight. Next time we'll try and get somebody on the lead lap up here in the booth as quickly as possible. But it'll be Hutton and Emanuele on the front row. And it looks like the 19, you're asking if the 19 got caught in it. Vasquez has some rear end damage. Now, he's got a lot of damage, so I think he was involved. Pace car lights are back on. So we're going to have another extended caution. Drivers trying to get back caught up and in the correct order. And we want to thank you for tuning in once again. Appreciate everybody coming out. If you're enjoying the broadcast so far, please consider following or subscribing. You can use your Amazon Prime account here on Twitch and link that up. You get a free subscription each month with Twitch Prime, and you can use that here on VSpeed or any other channel. And we'll be doing a giveaway when we get to the 500 follower mark. We'll be doing another t-shirt giveaway. So tell your friends, your family. Go check us out on Twitter and follow us over there to be eligible as well. And green flag back in the air. Eric Hutton, a good jump. Ryan Gemmel going to be able to follow him through, and Hatchell going to try and find his way around the slow car of Timothy Emanuele, the 39, on over 56 lap old tires here. As Eric Holly nearly losing control there headed down into turn number 3. He nearly made contact as Wes Wigan in the wall. There goes Holly into the inside wall. Back up into traffic, the 33 of Galleon. There's Stravato. Heavy impact there. And Michael Newman, Brett Somers, multiple drivers involved in this one as well. And let's go take a look. It looked like Wigan bounced off the wall on those old tires and brought out the yellow flag. Might be smart for some of these guys to take it down the pit lane and get some fresh rubber, as Holly nearly lost control there. He got down in front of John Mullins, and the 88 here just overdriving that pretty seriously, and down into the 25, bounces him to the inside wall. The 33 of Galleon, the 48 of Stravato, and then the 12 of Newman could not get slowed up in time. The 7 of Brett Somers looping it around under braking. It's going to put a few more drivers on the pit lane for damage repairs, as Eric Holly towed it immediately. And that 188 slam in the outside wall is what started all of that. The Wigan's still on the racetrack, 57 lap old tires. It does look like Timothy Emanuele brought it onto the pit lane along with Stravato and a few others, but the 188 can remain out here as we work under the yellow flag once again. See if we can get a word in here with Justin Carey, the number 21 machine. See how he's doing early on in tonight's race. Justin Carey, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you doing today?
Oh, not too bad, and it looks like you survived the melee so far. It's been extremely chaotic. You know, what's your plan here? You've already moved up 19 spots. What's your plan to survive the remainder of this race?
So far, I've just been taking it easy. I can tell me and Jeff kind of have this same plan of just picking and choosing our moves, and so we've just been not really trying to race too hard and just run the line. If a spot opens up, we'll take it. If not, we can sit back there for a little bit. And then them wrecks, we got lucky. I'm not gonna lie, we got lucky.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good so far.
There's a few drivers up in front of you here on old tires, as well as some with some pretty heavy damage already. You know, up there in the top 10, and you find yourself with I think you're one of the last few clean race cars, just 60 laps into this thing. So definitely going to be a race of attrition. You come in here 15th in the point standing, so right above the cut line. You know, we're halfway through the regular season now. What's your plan here for these next few races to maximize your points?
Just kind of go back to my old strategy and just do consistency. A lot of the times in this league, I was kind of striving to be a little bit more aggressive and go for wins. Haven't really had my chance in luck, so I will just keep with consistency, and we'll just take what positions we can get.
Yes, sir. Well, it looks like you guys are double file again, so let you get back to racing here. Thanks for taking some time, and good luck out there.
Of course. Of course. Thank you, Adam. You have a good night.
Thank you. That was Justin Carey as we put him back in the room. And green flag back in the air. Eric Hutton gets him going. Gets a great jump there. So good start by Hutton. He's out in front of Ryan Gemmel and Seth Hatchell. And driver, we need to take a look at the 188. Did he bring it onto the pit lane? He did not, and he's back to 18th already. Still with 61 laps on those tires. Not sure why he hasn't brought it down to the pit lane. That car obviously going the wrong direction as Hutton is going the right direction. Extends the lead now out to 0.8 of a second with a blistering lap, 14.66. Next fastest to 14.8. As caution back on the racetrack, another pileup. Looks like a few drivers trying to weave their way through back here. It's on the front straightaway. Michael Newman, AJ Stravato involved once again. Some of these guys not faring too well in the opening laps. Let's go take a look at what happened. Bring out this caution. Oh my gosh, big wreck on the front straightaway. take a look at Stravato. Oh, the 70 is Sulfridge. Oh, not sure what happened to him, but he was going the wrong direction. And let's see if we can find him. That's Lyle Sulfridge, the number 70. Let's see what happened here to him. He's racing it up with Zach Smith. There was a car on the inside. That's Dylan Teal. He gets punted by the 6, overcorrects, loses control, catches the 48, and then it is on from there. Dallas Sullivan, the 81 of Dan Dill, Newman, 71 of Sulfridge involved in that one. And I think everybody else checked up behind there. The leaders caught up to the wreck. But yeah, this all happened in front of Michael Newman. And he got in the back of Dan Dill, gets punted from behind. So not a lot of luck for some of these guys in avoiding the wrecks tonight. And it is so hard to see when things happen on the racetrack. '71 of Blaine Sulfridge. Late on the brakes here. He was trying to get through. He slams into the side of Stravato. And there was another car around up here. That's the 28 of Dennis Steele. Oh no, the 14 machine. That is Thomas Brendel. I don't know what happened to him. Oh, he got in an accident, a separate accident with Zach Smith. As I think the yellow is out. 14 tags the wall, comes down in front of the 1. And they were able to lock it down, but the 14 just stayed right there as drivers were already back up to speed. He just parked it on the racetrack. And we are down to 17 drivers on the lead lap. Very few drivers without incident here early on in this race. And currently Eric Hutton, your leader here, 69 laps in, doing a nice job. And that number 77 machine is... We're going to cross the line here and start lap number 70. It has been an absolute chaotic race so far. 6 cautions with just the 2 lead changes between Hatchell and Hutton. And a couple of cars electing to stay out as pace car lights are off. We're going to be going green this time by. Another quick yellow. We never looked at the track conditions, but not too slippery out here. Should be plenty of grip for these guys, and some of them definitely struggling with the setup in the race car tonight. But 70 laps into the event, that's a quarter of the way there. As Hutton gets him going, green flag in the air. Gemmel, a good job as, oh, there goes Joshua Abbey, the 24 of Pogo. And caution gonna potentially fly here. The 33 of Galleon, 20 of Joey Mines. And Jeremiah Vincent, many others caught up in this one. Go back and take a look at what happened to Joshua on this restart. Looks like he just lost control of the race car. Getting up through the gears. He clips the 24. The 64 Mullins gets into him. Galleon gets into him as they come across the racetrack. 20 of Joey Mines spins it out separately. And they stop on the racetrack. Jeremiah Vincent right there. Behind him, there goes Lyle Sulfridge right on past. And a few drivers able to avoid contact there. But the 5 just spinning it out on used tires can very easily happen at this racetrack. This one and Dover are notorious for that. As Eric Hutton loving what he's seeing, he's not going to have to pit. He gets to run out here under the yellow and lead some laps. He's already up to 21 laps led here, basically all under caution. We are going to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the green flag.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Pace car lights were off. They're back on now. Gives us a good opportunity to talk about some of our social media outlets and our YouTube channel, as well as our website. You can check us out at vspeedsim.com for all your sim racing needs, whether that's paint schemes, graphic design, merchandise, 3D design, anything you'd like. We can pretty much do it. You can check us out over there at vspeedsim.com. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter for race announcements before each and every broadcast. And once again, follow us on Twitter to be eligible for a giveaway when we get to the 500 follower mark here on Twitch. You can check us out on YouTube at vspeed, where we post race replays. So you can check out the first 4 races of this season, which have been fantastic events with some great finishes. Check out those over on our YouTube channel and subscribe over there to follow along with future races that will be coming up as well. As pace car lights are off this time, it's going to roll on to the pit lane. It'll be Eric Hutton and Ryan Gemmel as Hutton gets him going. Green flag back in the air. Josiah Vincent, not a good restart. He's going to lose the 3rd position to Seth Hatchell, who moves up in front of him. Now the 21 of Justin Carey, who's survived this far. He's in the top 5. Starting to put some pressure on the 4 machine. And behind them, John Mullins with a little bit of damage. Zach Smith, who was caught up in that last caution, he's in 7th. And Wes Weigand, who pitted just 12 laps ago after staying out quite a bit earlier, he's up into 8th position. Jeff Pogo 9th. Eric Lambert, who was at the back of the field early on, he's up into the top 10. Is at the front though, Eric Hutton absolutely driving away. That 77 car looking very quick in the first half of this race, just like he did at Iowa. He was the dominant car there, and then it was the V-Speed machines trailing him, just like tonight. It's Ryan Gemmel and Seth Hatchell 2nd and 3rd position, and they are just out in front of Josiah Vincent in that 4th position, and that group has started to pull away from Justin Carey. As Gemmel nearly brushing the wall, Hatchell under some serious pressure from the 4 of Josiah Vincent, and everybody in the top 6 all on equal tires. Behind them, Zach Smith, he's on 16 lap old tires, but with a bit of damage. Now putting some pressure on the back bumper of the 64 of Mullins. See if he can make any kind of a pass to get up there into the 6th position. And Wes Weigand under serious pressure from Jeff Pogo. The rest of the field very spaced out. Taking a look here from the back bumper, Daniel Worthington in 14th position. He's got Cody Adkins with no front end, no hood, just behind him, and side by side they go. Jordan Brockle back on the lead lap here in the 13th position. He's losing some ground here. Worthington working that outside line. Right behind Timothy Emanuele, who has gotten back on track here in the 12th position. And you can see kind of varied lines here from some of these drivers. The 39 kind of running a slightly lower groove. The 84 down in the low line. The 113 real slow out of the corner there. He checks up. Dan Dill, a little bit of an avoidance there. The 81 machine, he's 2 laps off the pace. And actually, we only have 14 drivers on the lead lap. Everybody else fighting for a lucky dog position or fighting to potentially take a wave around. And only 15th through 19th, 1 lap down. Everybody else at least 2 laps down. So some drivers already out of contention early on in this one. But with the cautions at the rate that we've had them, And as I say that, looks like it's the 78 of Dylan Teal, possibly. Nope. I think the 188 of Wes Wigan going around here with Michael Newman. Yellow flag flying once again. Let's see what happened to bring out this caution. And it looks like Wigan got in the wall all on his own. Really struggling with that race car. He comes down across the nose of Jeff Pogo after bouncing off the wall. 25 of Eric Holly able to kind of phase through him, and then he starts backing it down the racetrack. Lyle Sulfridge involved. 12 of Michael Newman making contact there as well. Let's see the 70. Big impact there for Lyle Sulfridge. That car continues to roll, but he's going to have some issues. And Michael Newman already 4 laps down, just going to add to that damage. And he's currently the last car, I was going to say the last car on the racetrack, but that is not the case. See what the leaders elect to do here. Looks like they're all going to stay on the racetrack, as we are approaching the 100 lap mark. Looks like Joshua Abbey going to bring it in here and try and get some more of the damage repaired on that race car from spinning out on the restart a few cautions ago. Also, Lane Sulfridge is going to bring it in. Here comes the 13, I believe, the Lucky Dog. No, that is not the case. He is 41 laps down. 32nd position. Let's see what else just happened here. We've got 14 on the lead lap still. 15 through 18th, 1 lap down, and then 19th on back. At least 2 laps down. I'm not sure there was a Lucky Dog, as I believe Cody Adkins was involved in that, and that car has been converted to a modified in the Think Geek number 31. And there's a few of those out here, so might be starting a multi-class series as this race progresses. But Adkins still hanging tough here in the top 15. He is in the Lucky Dog spot. We get another caution. He's not involved. And pace car light's going to go off. Eric Hutton, I believe, now takes over the most laps led with 43. Hatchell has 43 as well, so they're tied for that. And we'll see what kind of a restart these drivers get if Hatchell and Gemmel have anything for the 77, or if anybody farther back can get up there and challenge the 77. Who's got that short track speed? Once again, the first car on fresh tires is going to be Justin Carey in the 12th position. And right there with him, Jordan Brockle also brought it onto the pit lane as they try to get in the correct position. Pace car going to pull off on the pit lane, and the 77 gets going. Gemmel, not a great restart, but he's going to be able to hang on to second with Seth Hatchell looking down to the inside, but not going to have the run. Here comes Josiah Vincent now to the outside of him. That's going to shuffle the 8 car back to the 4th position. And they are already starting to put a gap between themselves and John Mullins in the 5th position. He's got heavy damage on that race car, but still carrying some pretty good speed. He's able to hold off Zach Smith and others. And I will be interested to see how Justin Carey fares on those fresh tires. In the 21, he's already pulled well away from Jordan Brockle, the 84 machine. And apologize for any dropped frames. I'm not sure what's going on there. Looks like we could be having some issues on our end. So I Apologize for that. We'll see if we can get it fixed as the race goes on. But 100 laps now in the book. Eric Hutton out in front by just around a second in front of Ryan Gemmel. As 77 nearly brushing the wall there, going to lose a little momentum. But Josiah Vincent moving up through the field. He's into third. Actually, he started on the front row, so he is not advanced in this race. Hatchell going the wrong way. John Mullins into fifth. Here comes Justin Carey up to 7th from 28th, and he has those fresh tires and putting those to use as he passes up Jeff Pogo and sets his sights on the top 5 here. And we do have quite a few drivers out of the race or getting repairs completed on pit lane. Looks like about 5 to 10 drivers completely out of this thing. As the battle now on, here goes the 21 of Justin Carey. He's going to take 6th away from Zach Smith. Next one in line, John Mullins, the 64, working that high line. The 21 down low, not able to get the run that time by. But here he goes through the corner once again. Out of turn number 4, still not able to clear him. They work down through 1 and 2. He's going to be able to get the pass completed now. Justin Carey up to 5th, but he's got 4.3 seconds to go. Catch up to your leaders, and he's still not as quick as Eric Hutton, who's on the older tires. As caution back on the racetrack. And trying to find out who it was. Could have been the 22, possibly. No, we'll take a look at it. Oh, I think we might have seen it there. Possibly the 20 of Joey Mines. Bringing out this yellow flag. Let's take a look. No, it was already out. Oh, the 113 of Worthington up on his lid. He was racing up with the 31 of Cody Adkins, and he tags the wall, comes across the nose. How many times have we seen that here tonight? Big impacts as the 48 slips on through. The 81 of Dan Dill, and then the 31 just drives straight through him. Big impacts there. 13 nearly rolling over, or the 113 rather. And he takes it to the pit lane. Probably going to park it there for a little while. As Justin Carey remains on the racetrack, he'll lead some laps. Everybody else going to bring it in here other than Jordan Brockle and Timothy Emanuele. We've seen that strategy already pulled by the 39. And laps clicking away. And the rate that we've been having these cautions, it may not be a bad strategy at this point with fewer cars in the field. And I do think we are having some connection problems here. Let's see if we can get that resolved under a quick commercial break. So we will be right back.
Crockett Creek Beef Jerky, we don't have fancy Madison Avenue advertising. We don't have famous Hollywood endorsements. We don't have mythical creatures as mascots. See, here at Crockett Creek, we're proud of what we don't have. No artificial preservatives or chemicals, gluten-free, and no added MSG. Just all natural, small batch protein made in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains. Enjoy Crockett Creek Jerky, from our backyard to yours.
Pace car lights are off. We're going to be going once again. Justin Carey in control. He's got Timothy Emanuele on his outside. Behind them, Jordan Brockle and Ryan Gemmel winning the battle off the pit lane. He took 4 tires right there as well. It's going to be Eric Hutton and a few others. As nearly contact there, Timothy Emanuele actually ran into the wall, and everybody's trying to find a way around him. The 84 Brockle on old tires. There's the 39 tagging the wall once again. Hatchell's going to get on past. And we are definitely having some connection problems on our end. Trying to get this all figured out. Looks like our overlay program having some issues here, but caution out on the racetrack. And I'm going to have to close the overlay. We'll be right back here. Give me 1 second. Sorry for the issues. All right, we got our ticker back up and rolling. Not sure why it crashed there, but that might have something to do with our issues. Yeah, looks like it might have fixed it. Not sure what happened there. I think maybe just a lot of things going wrong with the race tonight. Very chaotic, and it's going to reset our caution count there with the reset of the overlay. So sorry about that. Justin Carey is your leader. He's led 9 laps in the race tonight. We're a little ways from halfway, not too far. It has been a caution-filled race. We had a nice run actually towards the start after we got going finally, about 11 laps in, and they ran about 30 laps under green. It was a nice run. Leaders got up and were working through traffic, and then we've seen essentially nonstop caution since that point. I think the longest run about 10 laps. As pace car lights do go off, we're going to be going green this time by. 120 laps. Going to be in the books when we get to the start-finish line. Justin Carey, Ryan Gemmel on the front row. Going to lead us back to green. It's Jordan Brockle behind them alongside Josiah Vincent. Pole sitter Seth Hatchell in 5th. Eric Hutton in 6th. Those two though have led the most laps, and they're in the 3rd row. So they're going to have some work to do to get back up there to the lead. Justin Carey on older tires, along with Jordan Brockle, and green flag back in the air. The 84 does not get going. He's got Hatchell right on his tail. Eric Hutton looks to the inside of Josiah Vincent already. 77 not able to make that work, but he goes by Jordan Brockle. Here comes Hatchell to the inside now. He's going to try and make the move on the 84 and go into the 5th position. And he completes that pass. Brockle now back to 6th, is behind them Eric Gallion, John Mullins, and Eric Lambert up here in the top 10. Lambert going to go around the outside. Mullins with a problem. He got very, very loose, very slow out of that corner, and Ryan Gemmel takes over the lead as Justin Carey already back to 5th, so he got shuffled way back, and Gemmel takes over the top spot. He's got Josiah Vincent all over his back bumper, and Eric Hutton, Seth Hatchell now clearing the 21 and up into the top 4. So the top 4 that we saw before all of this chaos ensued back in position, just in a different order than we expected. Gemmel with the advantage now in the lead. We'll see if he can get out of the way, or out in front and pull away here. He's got about 3 car lengths over the 4 car. And Seth Hatchell not able to reel in those top 3. We'll see what he aims to do here. If he tries to preserve the tires a bit, knowing he's got no real pressure behind him. Justin Carey, Jordan Brockle on those older tires, trying to hang on for whatever track position they can. They've already lost over 2 seconds to your leader. As here comes Eric Gallion looking to the inside. He'll go back in the line behind the 84. And Gemmel continues to hang on up here. He's going to put another lap on the 71. That's going to be Lane Sulfridge. Who goes now 5 laps down. And we are left with 15 on the lead lap. Dennis Steele, the last one here, 12.5 seconds back. He's in danger being lapped here shortly, as the 13 can go to the outside of him. Next one behind him is the 6 car of Dallas Sullivan, back in 26th position, 22 laps off the pace, and running in the modified class here towards the back of the pack. And Gemmel under serious pressure. It looks like Vincent has closed that gap up now 1.5 car lengths as they head down into turn number 1. They'll put another lap on Sullivan. The next one going to be Dennis Steele, the 28 machine. And Gemmel rocking the bright red and blue, as we've got slow cars just letting the leaders on past. And we've seen chaos ensue from this. The fast cars working past the slow cars. And it looks like they're being very respectful here, giving the leaders that higher lane, but Gemmel going to have to find a way around. Now goes to the outside of Joshua Abbey. And the 31 going to stack him up a little bit here. We'll see if he gets down out of the way. He will. And next one, Dan Dill, going to go another lap down. He's already 2 laps off the pace. And he's going to stay up high, make contact. There goes Josiah Vincent into the back bumper. Eric Hutton gets tagged in it. I think Hatchell also got a piece of that. Yes, quite a few drivers, including some of the fast ones. Seth Hatchell and Eric Hutton, your top 2 lap leaders, getting some damage here. Hatchell losing the back end of that race car. And let's see what happened here. Is Dan Dill catching the wall, like we've seen so many times in this race. Coming out of the corner. So he was fighting to stay just 2 laps down in front of your leader, Ryan Gemmel. Gemmel goes to the inside 81, just overcooks it on the outside, bounces off the wall again, gets tagged by Josiah Vincent. Eric Hutton, big contact. Hatchell, huge contact by Brett Sommers and others, and they're going to be in trouble in terms of that damage, as Hutton, the front end absolutely destroyed on that race car. He got hit by Joshua Abbey and Alan Dice. And then Hatchell able to keep the car rolling again, but he just had really nowhere to go. He was already on the brakes when it all started, and the 81 bouncing off the wall, and then he got slammed into by the drivers who did not slow down. That's Brett Sommers. You can see how late these guys are onto the brakes, and slam right into the 8 car. So big issues for some of our fastest cars approaching the halfway point. And I would expect a lot of drivers to bring it in. Looks like Gemmel and Josiah Vincent going to stay on the racetrack. And I think nearly everybody else is going to bring it down. Eric Gallion going to remain on the racetrack along with John Mullins, Eric Lambert, Jeff Pogo, and others. That's actually very surprising that they would remain on the track, seeing what we've seen so far in this race from the drivers on old tires. I'm going to see if we can figure out what the caution count is here. Maybe give me 1 second. I'm not able to find the caution count, so I think we're somewhere in the 10 caution region. It has been very messy at all points in this race. Looks like pace car lights are off, I believe. Gemmel's gonna retain the lead along with looks like the top 7 remaining on the racetrack. First car on fresh tires. Actually, looks like top 10 staying on the racetrack. Zach Smith, Lyle Sulfridge, and Timothy Emanuele with 22-lap old tires. First car on fresh tires going to be Jordan Brockle in the 11th position. Pace car off. Gemmel gets him going. Green flag back in the air. And Josiah Vincent fighting off the charge of Eric Gallion. He'll hold on to second. And Josiah been very quick here tonight, even with the nose damage on that race car from very early on in this race. And we'll have to see if Eric Hutton and Seth Hatchell can get back up in the top 10. Hatchell in 13th. Hutton is 16th and still on the pit lane. So Hutton, maybe some required damage that is taking some extra time. But Hatchell, who seemed to have taken the bigger impact, he is about to make a pass here on the 13. That is not for position. So Hatchell, your pole sitter, still in the 13th spot. But Gemmel, 2 car lengths the difference between himself and Josiah Vincent. And they have separated themselves from Eric Gallion by over a second. As Gemmel under some serious pressure, though. Josiah Vincent now 1 car length back as they work out of corner number 4. The V-Speed machine out in front. Gemmel leading some laps like he did a couple weeks ago. As potentially a caution on the track. I think there was a slow car in front of these guys. Saw some smoke. I am not sure if it was just cars rolling off the pit lane or maybe some cars blown up on the pit lane. But these two continuing to drive away the gap. Now 2 seconds back to Eric Gallion, who's under pressure from Zach Smith, John Mullins, Jeff Pogo, and Eric Lambert, the top 7. And the Jordan Brockle 8th, Thomas Brendel 9th, Justin Carey in 10th. 21 car still pretty clean. He's somehow managed to avoid just about everything. I don't know how he's done it, but he's up here in the top 10 now, 9th. As Eric Lambert nearly coming down into the side of Jordan Brockle. Almost 150 laps in the book. We are past halfway, and Ryan Gemmel is your leader. These top 2 over 3 seconds now out in front. 3rd place Eric Gallion, and they're starting to put some cars some more laps down as you've got Brett Sommers in front of them, and then I think AJ, no, that is Dennis Steele. AJ Stravato is on the racetrack. He's won the last 3 races, but he's not going to win this one now. 27 laps down. No nose on that race car. He's a little bit off the pace. He's still making some pretty solid time. He's keeping up with Seth Hatchell and others. As Hatchell moves up to the back bumper of Cody Adkins, who he's actually a lap ahead. Hatchell is 1 lap down in 13th position, only 12 on the lead lap. Battle is on up here between Jordan Brockle, John Mullins, Eric Lambert, others as Justin Carey goes to the inside of Eric Hawley. That is not for position, but now this one is Justin Carey, Eric Lambert down into turn number 3. Lambert way up the racetrack. That's going to allow the 21 right on past. He'll go to the inside of John Mullins. And then Eric Gallion as well, and he'll take both of those as Gallion brushes the wall. That's going to allow Mullins on past. So Justin Carey up to 6th. He's got Jordan Brockle up there in 5th. In front of him as Ryan Gemmel way out in front of Josiah Vincent. I think Josiah making some contact with the wall there. Trying to figure out what happened to him. He lost some time to Ryan Gemmel and just continued to fall back now 1.3 seconds. And growing as Gemmel running the fastest laps on the racetrack. Zach Smith up to 3rd. Running very competitive times. Jeff Pogo as well running fast times, but they're 4 seconds behind your leader. And then Justin Carey starting to put the 84 of Jordan Brockle under pressure. That's for 5th position. Brockle having a good showing here tonight. Started all the way back in 34th. Didn't take a qualifying time. He's up here running in the top 5. We saw him have a good finish. I believe it was 2 weeks ago, getting a top 10. And as they come into tonight's race, he's 26th in the standings, but this is definitely going to help him in points. And Justin Carey coming in just inside the cut line, this is really going to help him. But Ryan Gemmel looking to benefit the most out of this. He's led 37 laps. Looks like he's on his way to leading the most here. No real challenges. He's over 3 seconds out in front of Josiah Vincent with a little over 120 laps to go. That 16 car very quick here at this point in the race. But he's got to work through this lap traffic without any issue. In the 70 in the wall in front of him. And now Gemmel runs into him and, oh, more contact. How many times have we seen that happen here where cars just really messing up in front of the leaders and causing problems for everybody? The 70 of Lyle Sulfridge nearly wrecking the leader right there, but Gemmel able to hang on to it and maintain a 3.1 second lead. He's got some nose damage now. But only 11 cars on the lead lap. Thomas Brendel, the last one in 11th. Seth Hatchell right there in front of him in 13th. He's got 1 car in front of him on that is 1 lap down. Is Brendel losing some pretty serious time. He's running a 17 flat to the leader's 15.9. And Gemmel the only one really in the 15s other than Eric Lambert, who's up to 8th position now and trying to get up there and challenge for 7th from John Mullins. And Safe Ferris, who back on the racetrack 61 laps down. He started up in 9th position. That car has seen better days, we could say, and he's still out here logging laps. He could still make up a few positions, come out of here with a top 30. And that's that no give up attitude we've seen from him so far in this season as he approaches the back bumper of the 70 machine there. Gemmel now with a 5-second lead. And he's set to put Joshua Abbey another lap down. That'll be 4 laps down for the Daytona winner. Gemmel now up to 45 laps led. I think that's going to be the most. Or maybe just a few more and it'll be the most. Right there in front of him, Joey Mines, Dennis Steele. And the battle for second starting to develop here as we've got Zach Smith reeling in Josiah Vincent. Jeff Pogo not far behind, and Jordan Brockle also closing up with Justin Carey in his wake. Josiah Vincent, he got a bit of right side damage. That car is not able to keep up with Gemmel. I don't know if he just burned up the tires or what have you, but he has definitely not been running competitive times as Gemmel working through traffic. Oh, the 14 of Brendel going a lap down. That leaves just 10 on the lead lap. And Eric Gallion not far out in front. He's going to go a lap down here shortly. But boy, is it dangerous to be the leader here tonight. It's been hard to navigate this traffic. You see Eric Lambert still fighting to catch up to the back bumper of John Mullins. Now about a car length between them. And now we're getting a nice long green flag run. Hopefully I don't jinx it here as Gemmel goes to the outside of Sommers. Put him another lap down. Brett Sommers currently 25 laps down in 22nd position. And Gemmel about to put Gallion a lap down. Gallion running in 10th position as Gemmel goes to the inside. I think the 33 just basically letting him have it. So Gemmel will go on by. The gap now 5.1 seconds as Pogo. I think there was an issue here. Zach Smith with a problem. He was in front of Jeff Pogo battling it up here. And the 24 went to the outside. The one car really slow. I'm not sure if he's got a flat tire or something. But Zach Smith well off the pace here. He is very slow. I think he does have possibly a flat tire. I don't know what is wrong with that race car, but he is currently running about a half second or more off the pace from what he was running before. 59 laps on these tires. I think it could be possible he has the right front down. But Ryan Gemmel, your leader at this point in the race, 5.7 seconds out in front. Josiah Vincent, second gap over Justin Carey, who's now moved to third. And that gap going to close down, I think, pretty quickly. Justin on much fresher tires than the number 4, as he's been able to move up from outside the top 10 into this position. Continuing to make ground up, not much slower than your leader, actually running about the same exact lap time that time by. He goes to the inside of Thomas Brendel, who rubs up against the outside wall, lets these leaders on past. The 14 really struggling here tonight. He finds himself all the way down in, actually only in 11th, but well off the pace. He ran an 18.5 second lap. It's over 2 seconds off your leader's time, and essentially a moving chicane. As that battle for second starting to develop, Justin Carey actually going to end that battle. He goes to second place. Passes up Josiah Vincent. And a little over 100 laps to go. I think they're going to have to make a pit stop here at some point, and that stop probably going to come in the next 40 laps. But when does Gemmel make that call? Because currently he's running about a second and a half slower than the fast times in this race. But you can't really risk being the first guy down there, because if a caution does come out while you're on the pit lane, you're going to lose a couple laps. Even with this huge margin that he has, he'd at least go one lap down. And the pitting protocol at this racetrack under yellow is you do have to go through both pit lanes, but if you are pitting under green, you just have to go on your side of the racetrack. As we've got a slow car. That's Eric Lambert way off the pace. What happened to the 3 car? He got passed up by Chris Wheeler, it looks like, as he bounced off the wall, slams into the 22, and then hard into the outside wall. Luckily, nobody ran into him, but lots of lap cars and leaders driving on past him. He's still on the racetrack, I think, trying to find his way to the pit lane. And then the top 2 running about the same lap time still. Gemmel's still one of the fastest, if not the fastest, on the racetrack. So he's got this race in his hands, assuming he can survive about another 100 laps. they're side by side up there in front of them. That's AJ Stravato, and then the 31 of Cody Adkins. Stravato in 22nd, Adkins in 12th in that race car, if you can believe it. He's in 12th position, 3 laps down. Actually, first car 3 laps down. And still only 8 drivers on the lead lap. Zach Smith, the last one, he slowed way up. Here comes Gemmel now to put him a lap down. Gemmel goes to the outside of Stravato, and just about 3 car lengths separating the 1 and the 16. They've got Thomas Brendel in front of them. Brendel is still in 11th place, about to go a 2nd lap down as Smith goes down low. Not sure if he's going to try and make a pit stop here, but Gemmel puts the 14 another lap down and continues on his way. Justin Carey, your 2nd place driver, a half lap behind. So Ryan Gemmel could be on his way to lapping the field here if he continues at this pace. Josiah Vincent into 3rd. He's picked up the pace a little bit, but he's got Jeff Pogo and others. They're nearly 3 wide. He gets punted. There's the 22. Who gets run into? He's spinning out on the apron, able to hang on to it, and that was nearly a yellow flag. But these lap cars are very slow, some of them, and the leaders trying to find their way around. Jordan Brockle here in 7th. He's the next car in line to get lapped by Ryan Gemmel. Gemmel now just about a half second behind him. Brockle's had a good run, but I don't think he's going to be able to stay on the lead lap for much longer. I think he's just going to go to the inside. Gemmel going to put him a lap down here. That's going to leave 6 drivers on the lead lap. Timothy Emanuele still about 4 or 5 seconds out in front of your leader in this pack here with the top 5. You can see Josiah Vincent, who was up there battling for the lead. I don't know, about 30, 40 laps ago. He's over 10 seconds behind Gemmel, so Ryan doing a good job. He's got to be very careful of the tire wear on that race car. It is possible to blow a tire at the kind of pace that he's been putting down. And Michael Newman right there behind him. Michael pitted, I'm not sure exactly if he's pitted, but he is 5 laps or 18 laps down in the 19th position, keeping up with your leader right now. So one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. But Gemmel now almost 10 seconds out in front. Justin Carey is backed up now to Josiah Vincent. In the battle right there, Timothy Emanuele going to the outside of Jeff Pogo to take over 5th position. Pogo losing some spots. Emanuele starting to move forward here. As he goes to the outside of John Mullins. 64 down there battling with Josiah Vincent. It's going to cost him, I think, Emanuele going to be able to work the high line. He's very quick in the center of the corner, but backs up a little bit there as Justin Carey slowing down as well. Gemmel now with an 11.5 second lead, continuing to run 2 to 5 tenths faster than anybody else on the racetrack. At least anyone on the lead lap. Seth Hatchell right up there in front of him. He's in 9th position now. 1 lap off the pace, about to go 2 laps down. But still managing that race car, very heavily damaged, up in the top 10. And we were looking at Eric Lambert a little while ago. He's on the pit lane. He's actually pulled off the racetrack and he's parked it, it looks like. Lambert was up there in the top 10 and now 18 laps down. Really not sure what happened to him. But he was very, very slow. As Gemmel just about 3 seconds behind your 2nd place driver, Justin Carey, who's under fire. There goes Timothy Emanuele. Good run for the 39 right now as he goes into 2nd. Here comes Josiah Vincent. Going to try and take 3rd back away as he washes up the racetrack, stacks him up. The 24 gets tagged. The 64 gets tagged. People just not slamming on the brakes when they see this contact. They don't wreck there, but close call. I think that was Hatchell, actually, that got some nose damage. That car missing both the front and rear bumpers. As he goes to the outside of Safe Ferris. And Dan Dill down there on the low line. Dan back in 26th position, 48 laps off the pace. Gemmel now, though, still just 3.5 seconds behind Timothy Emanuele, who's moved into second. I think Timothy actually has the pace to maintain that gap, but Justin Carey about to lose a lap here. He's in third position, fourth, fifth, sixth, all right there behind him, and they are just out in front of your leader. You can see this gaggle of race cars, Gemmel right there behind them, and this would be absolutely a dominant performance if Gemmel can lap the field, and something we wouldn't have seen here on V-Speed, at least at any point in our broadcasting history. This would be the first instance of that, as contact between those cars. Gemmel gets run into by Michael Newman, but close call for the leader there is Dan Dill down onto the apron, Chris Wheeler down on the apron. Gemmel goes around the outside of Brindell, and he's continuing to try and find his way around these cars. Josiah Vincent right up there in front. He's battling now with John Mullins, and this is fourth, fifth, and sixth right here in front of Gemmel. What an absolutely fantastic drive. He was battling with the 4 car for the lead not long ago, and now he's about to put that car a lap down. But he's being very patient, working through this lap traffic. Emanuele actually running a bit faster than him at this point, as Vincent gonna go a lap down. Now 5 cars left on the lead lap. And it looks like we're hearing word that Eric Lambert had 5 minutes of repairs. He's back on the racetrack, 20 laps off the pace. Gemmel moves on past Justin Carey, who gets a tap from Michael Newman. And drivers just not being very patient here tonight. We've seen a lot of drivers just running into cars in front of them when there's plenty of time to slow up. I think that's what brought out quite a few of these cautions, is we've got craziness happening behind. I think that was Chris Wheeler almost losing control of the 22. He's going to get passed up now by Eric Lambert, who's got the fresh tires. And Gemmel setting his sight on 4th place right there. That is John Mullins, and he's got clear racetrack to an extent. It's John Mullins and then Jeff Pogo up here in the 3rd position. Hatchell right behind him, 1 lap down is what it's showing. I think he's actually 2 laps down. Well, maybe not actually. I'm not totally sure about that. He's in 8th position. And then Zach Smith, he's dropped all the way back to 9th, a lap down. He's about to go a 2nd lap down as Gemmel closing in on the 3 car. That is Lambert. He goes to the outside of Zach Smith. That's 2 laps down for the number 1, who is so far off the pace. I think he still has some kind of a problem. He's running like 2 to 3 seconds off the pace, unless he has broken steering or a flat tire. That car has some problem. And Timothy Emanuele continuing to match lap times of your leader, but the problem is he's 12 seconds back. 3/4 of a lap behind in 2nd place. He's going to need something to go wrong for Gemmel to have any chance at a win here tonight, but he's somehow managed to drive that car from 32nd here tonight through a few wrecks up to 2nd place. So you got to give props to Mr. Timothy Emanuele, as Josiah Vincent going to bring it onto the pit lane. He's going to be one of the first of the leaders. John Mullins also brings it down. And the 33 of Eric Gallion, who, trying to find him in our running order, he's 12th position. He's going to bring it on to pit lane. Gemmel going to the outside now, Cody Adkins. And he has all but Pogo and Emanuele lapped down. So only 3 drivers on the lead lap. Gemmel's led over 100 laps to this point. After the dominant cars in the early portion, Seth Hatchell and Eric Hutton encountered issues. Hutton not on the racetrack. He's going to come home at least 30th position. Both those drivers leading a little over 40 laps in tonight's race, but they're not going to be able to come away with the win unless something drastic happens. Gemmel now putting a lap down on Jeff Pogo and others. They are all on the pit lane. Hatchell remains on the racetrack. He moves into 3rd. And Jeff Pogo rolling into his box now. Gemmel going to be at least 2 laps ahead of most drivers here. He's going to come out on the outside of Josiah Vincent, who's dropped all the way back to 12th now, 5 laps down after a very long pit stop. And Gemmel looks like he's going to be bringing the number 6 car onto pit lane now, or it's number 16 car rather. So he'll be the last driver to bring it out, other than Seth Hatchell, who's probably going to try and stay on the racetrack a little longer and see if he can get back on the lead lap by nature of a timely caution. As Gemmel's still on the pit lane, not sure if he rolled through the wrong lane or what happened, but that could be a problem. As Emanuele is already pitted, he's 2 laps down. Gonna get one of those back here. As Gemmel rolls into his box now. We'll see what kind of a pit stop he has. And he had that over 12-second margin before the pit cycle started. He's currently in the box for 15 seconds. I think he might have had a penalty, and this could be his undoing. A long pit stop, 27, 28, 29. It's going to be over 30 seconds for the driver, the number 16. Gemmel with a bad issue here. I think he did the pit entry the wrong way. Over 45 seconds for Gemmel. Jordan Brockle, your current leader. John Mullins going to go right on past him now. What is going on? What happened to Gemmel? 54 seconds. He's finally rolling. But that is a disaster for Gemmel, who looked like he was on his way to winning. A 54-second pit stop. Same thing for Josiah Vincent. I think they both did the pit entry incorrectly. As Jordan Brockle actually continues to lead. He's 12.6 seconds out in front. He's been out there for almost 100 laps and running very, very slowly on the racetrack. Timothy Emanuele, I think, is going to be your net leader once this cycles through, but Jeff Pogo right there in front of him, he's also on fresh tires, and he could have a shot at it. I think Gemmel is going to be a lap down. You can see him right there behind these guys, and I don't think he has the time to make that up. That's going to be very difficult, as he's actually scored in 8th position, currently 2 laps down. They're racing it up for position here with Josiah Vincent. Seth Hatchell only 1 lap down. He's up in 6th by nature of that pit sequence. As here comes Brockle, he's going to be the last driver onto the pit lane, other than Joshua Abbey, who pitted also 98 laps ago. John Mullins will inherit the lead here. He pitted 14 laps ago. I can't believe that for Gemmel. He had this race in the bag, 12.5 seconds up the road from the car that he's now a lap down to, or over 2 laps down to. Just unfortunate mistake there, and that's going to cost him the win. But Jeff Pogo has a shot at it. Timothy Emanuele has a shot at it. John Mullins, they're all fighting for position, and they're all within 1.5 seconds. As Gemmel going to try and get by Pogo here. He's going to squeeze the gap, not going to be able to make it work. But Gemmel needs to get up there and at least get back to 1 lap down. He might have a chance at a lucky dog if a caution comes out, and still have a chance at the win. And that's best case scenario for the driver, the number 16, who's led over 100 laps here tonight. The leader right here in front of him. And Seth Hatchell, the only other car 1 lap down in that 5th position. I can't believe this green flag run we've had. No cautions to break it up. As Gemmel gets back to 1 lap down. Only thing he can really hope for is that he can catch up to Hatchell and then a caution comes out, or if caution comes out now, he could elect to try and take a wave around if all the leaders pit. And Hatchell is about 7 seconds or so up the road from Gemmel, about a half lap out in front. So that's going to be a battle to watch. But at the front, Jeff Pogo putting pressure on the back bumper of John Mullins. This is for the lead with just 40 laps to go. John Mullins hanging on to the lead. There goes Pogo, not able to put the power down on the low line, but he has 3-lap fresher tires. And can he use those to take over this top spot with laps running out? And Gemmel, your fastest driver on the racetrack by over a half second last time by. Problem is, he's almost 2 laps down. He's a lap down and then about 3/4 of a lap. So he's got so much distance to make up. It's going to be so hard for him, but the battle for the lead continues to rage. And Timothy Emanuele, who is so good on the long run there, he's still got a shot at this as well. 1.1 seconds behind, and he's faster than these top 2 by about 0.3 of a second a lap. So he could get up there and start mixing it up. You never know what can happen among these guys. And it's Justin Carey, the only other driver on the lead lap, in 4th position. He's run a good race here, 12.1 seconds back. He's got older tires than some of the drivers in front of him, and here comes Gemmel right up behind him. That would put Gemmel about 25 seconds behind, and unless he can pick it up about a half second a lap, he's never going to get up there to challenge for the lead. But he is making good time and definitely could get back on the lead lap before this is all said and done. It's just he won't have enough time to get back around to get the leaders. Justin Carey starting to close the gap to the leaders as well. He's running a 15.7 that time by. And your leaders running a 16.2 and 16.3 as Jeff Pogo's taking it away from John Mullins that time by. So Jeff Pogo already a half second out in front, and he is starting to drive away that car in clean air now. He has a huge advantage. Let's put that gap up to nearly a second after just a lap and a half of being out in front. Jeff Pogo, who was up in the top 5 there when this whole pit sequence started, he did it perfectly. He's got fresher tires than the 2 cars behind him, and he's got clean running room. As Gemmel now about to pass Seth Hatchell, this will be for the 5th position. Both drivers 1 lap down. But Gemmel about as quick as your leader. The last couple laps he's been a little slower by making all these passes. And Pogo with that clean racetrack, he's going to start encountering some lap cars. And it's been a very confusing, chaotic race here tonight, and this incredibly long green flag run. I think it's been over 120 laps, probably even farther than that. I think we were at around lap 130 when the caution came out. And we'll have to see if Gemmel can get up there. Justin Carey 13 seconds back. He's going to be in danger of falling a lap down. Currently running about 2-3 slower. Gemmel about 2-3 faster than your leader. But Jeff Pogo now has led 7 laps. He's definitely one of the quickest on the racetrack. You just gotta avoid any carnage because Timothy Emanuele is just close enough that something could happen and he could still take advantage. Emanuele here in the second position, about 3.8 seconds back. He's been as quick as Pogo. Had some trouble getting through the traffic as Dan Dill, a little contact there. He's trying to get that car gathered back up, runs it around the apron here. And he's got Daniel Worthington right behind him, the 13 machine as well. Justin Carey starting to drift back as well. He's got about a 2-second margin to the leader, and that is decreasing lap by lap. He's definitely quite a bit slower. That time by 0.2 slower once again, so he'll get lapped here before this is all said and done. And he's starting to hold up some lap cars here. There's Zach Smith, Michael Newman, and others. Zach Smith, 2 laps down. He's in 8th position and actually could go up there and fight for a position with Josiah Vincent in the number 4 car. And Gemmel surely going to be disappointed here. He's running out of time for anything to happen and hoping for that yellow flag to fly because he has a shot at it being in the lucky dog spot, but that's going to happen soon as here comes the 21 about to get lapped by Jeff Pogo. And this would leave just 3 cars on the lead lap. And here comes the 24 now, 2 car lengths between himself and Carey. And Justin Carey is going to have to try everything here to stay on the lead lap, or if he gets lapped, hope for a caution to come out. And Gemmel praying for that yellow flag right now, I'm sure, as there goes the 21. He's going to get lapped. Ryan Gemmel going to be in big trouble. He's got no chance, really, unless we get a caution and then another quick caution. Jeff Pogo, he's played it perfectly now, 5.8 seconds out in front and increasing his gap over Timothy Emanuele, looking like he's well on his way to winning with just about 15 laps to go. The 24 machine of Jeff Pogo. This is what he's seeing out his windshield, and I'm sure he's going to start to play it a little bit conservative here. Jeff Pogo looking to try and lock himself in. He comes in 3rd in points, so he is performing well this year, and he was performing well in this race, but didn't look like he was going to be on his way to a victory. But he's going to be the first driver at the front of the standings other than Stravato, who he's about to put another lap down. AJ Stravato has had a disastrous race here, but 20th position is going to be pretty solid for a car that's been destroyed multiple times. He's 27 laps down to finish 20th. Definitely not too bad. And we could still get a yellow. It is not over yet, but Pogo, if it goes green, he is on his way to winning this race. He has a massive margin, about a half lap over 2nd place Timothy Emanuele, and then John Mullins another 1.5 seconds behind the 39. It'll be 10 laps to go now for Jeff Pogo. He does not want to see the yellow flag because that could mean that his chances could go up in smoke. But Emanuele, oh, speaking of going up in smoke, there goes Eric Holly blowing an engine late in this race right in front of the leader. He got out of the way. Good job there by Eric, who's currently in 24th position, 48 laps down. He's going to have an early exit here. Jeff Pogo goes to put the 28 of Dennis Steele another lap down. Dennis is currently back in the 17th position. And I think Pogo realizes he's got a huge margin now, 8 seconds over second place. And it is all but over. He just does not want to see that yellow flag. And just like last night, driver dominating here in the final stages. We saw last night Yusuf Ghali in the virtual racing league. He was on his way to a victory. A late caution with only a handful of laps to go threw a wrench in his plans, but he still was able to pull out the victory. Sure, if Jeff Pogo gets a caution here, it's going to be very interesting, but only 3 cars on the lead lap. He has the flexibility to make a pit stop, and 5 to go. It'll be 4 to go next time, so laps winding down. Ryan Gemmel starting to chase down Justin Carey. He's only 5.8 seconds behind him. He could get up into 4th position before this is said and done, but definitely not where he wants to end this race. Right there, Timothy Emanuele. He's going to go try and make the pass on him. The 39 looks like he's probably going to let him go. And Jeff Pogo, 3 laps remaining. The victory was nowhere in sight just about 50 laps ago, but it works out. 2 laps left to go. If we don't get a yellow flag before the white flag, it's all said and done. Jeff Pogo coming to the white flag. It's in the air. Jeff Pogo, 1 lap remaining. He's on his way to winning here in Bristol. He's got 9 seconds. He could run out of fuel right here and still win this race. He could blow a tire, he could slam the wall, maybe even come across the line backwards. He's gonna do it here at Bristol Motor Speedway and survive the Bristol Brawl 150. Congratulations to Jeff Pogo. In this race of attrition, he outlasted everyone. No mistakes in the pit cycle, and he wins by over 9 seconds on Timothy Emanuele. Congratulations to Jeff Pogo. He locks himself in to the playoffs with that victory. He came in 3rd in points. He might leave your points leader. But either way, he's going to leave here a winner. The other drivers on the podium going to be Timothy Emanuele and John Mullins. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with your post-race interviews.
Introducing the Brawl Network. The Brawl Network brings your favorite team's news and opinions in an unfiltered, educated, and entertaining way. Enough of the mainstream media's bias, filtered, reiterative news. Our reporters are fans of the teams they cover, as opposed to most major reporters. While some may feel it is good to get unbiased takes, it results in negative bias, passionless articles, and boring podcasts and radio. The Brawl Network changes the game by reporting the same news as the mainstream media, but with passion, in-depth knowledge of the teams, and in an entertaining way. We use our connections to bring you behind-the-scenes information and perspectives daily. Brawl is a way of life here. For our listeners and contributors, we hear all opinions, voices, ideas, thoughts, and hot takes. The Brawl Network is where your voice is heard, and you can hear your voice. Also, check out NASCAR Brawl, the newest Brawl podcast focusing on all the newest NASCAR and motorsports news from across the industry. We're proud to bring you the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series sponsored by this podcast and partnered with V-Speed. Watch weekly on Wednesdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Twitch at V-Speed Sin. Check out the Brawl Network at thebrawlnetwork.com and on Twitter at Network Brawl, and the NASCAR Brawl podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify with new episodes coming soon.
we are back. Going to be pulling up race winner here tonight, Mr. Jeff Pogo. Jeff Pogo, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, Jeff, you outlasted everyone here in this chaotic race at Bristol Motor Speedway. You started 23rd. You lead the last 34 laps and win by a huge margin. How'd you get it done here tonight?
A little bit of luck, I think. This isn't one of my better tracks, so I kind of struggle here. Just seem to work through some of the damage and the other issues, try to keep the car as clean as possible. Teammates kind of helped me learn how to drive the place a little bit. But yeah, somehow pulled it off.
Yeah, and you won by a huge margin, so obviously you had quite a bit of speed. You were the fastest car on the last run other than the 16 of Gemmel, who had the pit road mistake. You came in here third in points, but you lock yourself into the playoffs with a win, so how much of a relief is it to do that?
Big relief. Thought AJ was going to run away with that thing and not let anybody else win, but you know, sometimes the cards just play right, and I figured something out tonight.
Yeah, you break the streak of the 48 winning, and you put the 24 in victory lane instead. So definitely a good run here, and you know, changing things up a little bit. And next week, I believe we're going to Michigan. So what are your thoughts on going out there?
I like Michigan. That's one of my better tracks. I've had some misfortune there in other leagues, but I'm usually pretty quick, so hopefully we can pull something off. Turn 3 doesn't bother me there as it does here. Turn 3 kind of sucked here for me. I don't really know why, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's interesting at this racetrack with the different corners. You can really approach them pretty differently, and setups, you know, often work better on one end than another. But either way, you were able to keep the tires underneath it, keep the car mostly cleaner than about 99% of the cars out there. So that is to be commended for sure. You lead 34 laps on the way to victory. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate?
Yeah, first of all, I want to thank my teammates, Dan Dill, Eric Holly, John Mullins, Bull Ring Racing, and then I want to thank the NASCAR Brawl Podcast, B-Speed Sim, Matco Tools, and my wife for letting me do this. We have a newborn baby, and she's pretty generous to let me do this stuff down here so she doesn't kill me. And you guys up in the booth, man.
Awesome, Jeff. Well, congrats on the win here and locking yourself into the playoffs. Go celebrate, and we'll catch up with you next week at Michigan.
Sounds good, man.
All right, that is Jeff Pogo, your winner here tonight, taking away a victory, locking himself in. Let's go to second place finisher, Timothy Emanuele. Timothy Emanuele, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. How you doing?
Oh, not too bad, and you survived out here, so I'm sure you're feeling pretty good yourself. You come in 10th in points. You come away with a second place finish after charging from 32nd. The biggest mover here tonight. How'd you survive this race and come out of here on the podium?
Oh, it all just goes back to first thing you're supposed to learn in racing. Just drive past the nose of the car. You know, just got to keep your lookout, especially these short tracks. So much stuff happens real quick. You just got to be prepared for it. Like I said, look ahead, and you'll be just fine.
Yeah, we saw a lot of instances of drivers just not doing that, just not looking up the road, and we saw a lot of impacts where they had so much time to slow down, and we saw people get run over or, you know, make mistakes coming out of the corner. But you're able to keep the car, I think, almost entirely clean, and you were definitely one of the fastest out there on the long run from what we could tell. So what were you able to do to keep the tires underneath it under that long green flag run?
So I come from a dirt track background, so it's all about tire management. You know, just back the corner up, especially in these long races. You know, you don't win the race until lap 283, as the case tonight. So you just got to try to keep it as long as you can. You know, I wasn't expecting that long green flag pit or long green flag run. It happened, so we just kind of had to adjust. You know, just keep backing the corners up, kind of let other people move themselves out of your way, so to say. That's pretty much how I work my way towards the front every week. You know, just drive smart, take care of the car. Like I said, just got to make the tires last as long as you can throughout the race. Try to keep it there for the very end of the race when you need it the most. And if you did what you were supposed to do, you got it, and you can make it work.
Yes, sir, and you did make it work here tonight. You come home second. I believe your best finish of the season. Going to help you in the points. And what does that mean going forward to Michigan next week? How do you think you can perform there?
Oh, that's a huge momentum builder for me and confidence builder. I'm a restrictor plate kind of guy. Michigan kind of races like that, so it's kind of right up my alley. You know, I got to take a step back because tire wear is a thing there. So just looking forward to it. Hopefully I can get linked up with my teammates over at Loaded Dice Racing, and we can make something happen for all our guys this week.
Yes, sir, and definitely with the package as it is now, it is more like a super speedway, so we look forward to seeing if you can maybe finish a position higher than you did here tonight after running such a great race and surviving the chaos that was Bristol Motor Speedway. You come home second after starting 32nd. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my mom. I know she's watching at home. All my race fans. I know coronavirus kind of put a hinder on my actual racing, so appreciate y'all sticking behind me. All my actual sponsors in real life, appreciate you guys as well and for being understanding. I'd like to thank the V-Speed Network, Brawl Network, Carrie's Lawn Service, Canterbury, everybody who helps us do what we do to kind of escape for a few hours, have a little fun, put on a good show for everybody. Just appreciate all of y'all, and I want to give a big shout out to Nick and Zach for running such a great league. I mean, they do a great job week in and week out. It makes me look forward to coming back every week.
Yes, sir. It's definitely a lot of fun to watch. You put on a great show for us here tonight. I'm sure the sponsors will be happy with that performance, and hopefully you can get back to racing in real life here soon. Maybe it's next year at this point, but definitely hope you can get back to doing that. But congrats on P2, and we'll catch you next week at Michigan.
All right, appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
All right, thank you. That was Timothy Emanuele coming home P2 here tonight. We're going to pull up third place finisher John Mullins for the last interview of the night. John Mullins, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Adam, how you doing?
Oh, not too bad, and I'm sure you're feeling pretty happy yourself to come out of here. P3, you started in 10th, lead 15 laps on your way to finishing there. How'd you survive all the chaos, the melee, and come out of here on the podium?
Well, a good brake pedal. It kept me out of a lot of issues. You got to have it for tonight. It was eventful, that's for sure. I've had a lot of bad luck this season, so maybe this podium finish will kickstart some good luck, and we can get this thing rolling.
Yeah, we've seen you had some pretty good runs. I think Iowa, you were actually performing pretty well there too before getting caught up in something. You come in here 31st in points, so this will probably be a big jump. I'm sure you probably get closer to the top 20, with this run. So, what does that do for you, in terms of momentum as we move forward here, in the regular season?
It always gives you a little confidence and a little momentum when you have some top 5 finishers, but I got to definitely put together a string of them to crawl my way back up into the point standings, that's for sure. Like I said, I had just been in the wrong place, wrong time, and the first few races of the season, so maybe this will turn it around for us. We get something going.
Yes, sir. We go to Michigan next week. You think you can follow this run up there?
Yeah, I run good at Michigan, so definitely looking forward to that. And if we can keep the fenders on it, I'd look to talk to you again next week.
Yes, sir. We'll see if you can do that and get another one here and keep that momentum moving. But you run a good race here. The car was, I think it was a little beat up, but not really much more than anybody else on the racetrack. And you come out of here with that podium finish. So congrats on that. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate?
Yeah, I got to shout out to you guys, V-Speed and V-Speed Sims, for sponsoring us, and the NASCAR Brawl podcast. We got to thank NASCAR Brawl for putting on this league so we can have fun on Thursday nights. Big shout out to my buddy Jerry Santana. He supports the 64 car. And definitely got to thank my own sponsors, DNA Enterprise and Canterbury, for coming aboard the 64 car this year. Appreciate them.
Awesome, John. Well, congrats on a nice, solid run here, coming home on the podium. And we look forward to hopefully talking to you next week at Michigan.
Buddy, hopefully it'll be victory lane. We'll see you next week.
All right. Have a great night.
You too, man. See ya.
That was John Mullins, P3 here tonight. But once again, your winner, Jeff Pogo. He steals a victory away from what looked to be Ryan Gemmel's race, but that was not the case in the end. Overall, we had it looks like 11 cautions, so this did finally update. So we end up with 11 cautions and nice long green flag run that was over half the length of the race. So very happy we ended up with that. 7 total lead changes. I think that maybe didn't update. I think we had more than that. But Jeff Pogo comes away with the victory. And Timothy Emanuele comes home with a nice strong run in second. John Mullins P3. Justin Carey comes home in 4th position. And then Ryan Gemmel, who looked like he was on his way to a win, comes home 5th after the pit road mistake. Seth Hatchell rebounds to 6th with a heavily damaged race car. Good finish for him. Zach Smith comes home 7th. Josiah Vincent comes home in 8th. Jordan Brockel, another top 10 for the driver of the 84. Good run for him. And Joey Mayans able to salvage a top 10 here in 10th position. In 11th position, it was Cody Atkins. 12th was Thomas Brendel. 13th, Joshua Abbey. 14th, Lyle Sulfridge. 15th was Eric Gallion. 16th, Lane Sulfridge. 17th, Dennis Steele. 18th, Eric Lambert, the number 3 machine. Michael Newman comes home 19th. And AJ Stravato, winner of the last 3 races, not quite the luck he needed here tonight. He comes home in 20th position. In 21st, it was Brett Sommers. 22nd, Jordan Shepler. 23rd, Daniel Worthington. 24th, Dan Dill. 25th was Eric Holly. 26th was Safe Ferris. 27th, Chris Wheeler. 28th, Eric Hutton, who was very quick early on. 29th, Dallas Sullivan. And rounding out the top 30 was Alan Dice. 31st, it was Jeremiah Vincent getting collected early. Brandon Vasquez comes home P32. Wes Weigand comes home 33rd. Or actually, Dylan Teal 33rd. 34th was Nick Starling. 35th was Wes Weigand. I think this is incorrect. I believe Wes was out there a bit longer than that, so we'll have to get official timing and scoring at another time. But and Michael O'Malley did not start the race. He comes home in 36th. But that is going to do it here tonight. We want to thank you so much for tuning in to V-Speed. We appreciate everyone following, subscribing. We thank you, Eggy Gaming, for the subscription. We appreciate that so much, and thank you for your support. And if you are interested in following or subscribing, please consider doing so. We really appreciate it. You can check us out on all of our social media platforms up there, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where we post pre-race announcements before each and every broadcast. You can also find race replays on our YouTube channel, which is V-Speed. It's no longer V-Speed Media, which you see, but if you search that, you should be able to find us. You can also check us out at vspeedsim.com, where we offer a variety of services, including 3D and 2D designs. So if you need paint schemes, merchandise, or any type of equipment custom made for your rig, we should be able to help you out in some way. So check us out over there at vspeedsim.com. Send us a message if you're interested in any of those services. And really appreciate it. We're going to be headed off the broadcast now. Next week, we'll be back with the finale for the Virtual Racing League on Wednesday. You won't want to miss that. A race from Chicagoland and 4 drivers duking it out for the championship. And then next Thursday, we're going to be right back here with the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series at Michigan, like we just spoke about with some of those drivers. So you won't want to miss those races. We look forward to catching all of you next week. And for myself and V-Speed, this has been the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series from Bristol Motor Speedway. We're going to raid another iRacing channel, so stick with us here while we do so, and have a great night.